Hey, Doug. I was reading the press release, and I think the phrase that stuck out to me was, that you guys are certain that Kevin's established himself as a top six forward. You go back and look at some of the games leading up before the season pause. I mean, I think he started the game on the fourth line at one point, and he was kind of getting moved around, and he just didn't seem to be firing on all cylinders. So I guess the question is, what gives you guys the hope that Kevin is a top six forward and he can continue to be a top six forward throughout the duration of the deal here?
Well, I think that's a great question, Kevin. And I'll tell you this: it's experiential learning. You learn sometimes even more during tough times than you do in good times. But it's extremely rare in this league to have a 23-year-old kid score 56 points like he did. So we know the skill sets that he have. I think we all got to see his playoff performance and what we all witnessed. What's really important here is that he has ingredients and skill sets that are so important in today's game, not just 5-on-5, but also in the power play. And we had a bunch of players last year, high-end players in this league, that tried to do too much. And what happens is you got to stick with the plan and stick with the program, and you truly do learn from it. But we think he is, he's only 24, and we made sure we structured this contract so that he grows into it. And but there's no doubt in our mind that he's a 60-point guy going forward, 60-point plus guy going forward for the next 4 years. And that's what makes this deal, to me, very fair. And I think it's one of those things that you just look in the league, and having sat with our coaches, and they're pretty excited to do some things on the power play, do some things on 5-on-5 that falls right into his wheelhouse. The fact that he came back early, he's been back training his butt off, shows where he's at as far as a player. He wants to be a great player. He's already shown in this league, full year, 56 points, great playoff moment. He's shown that. So now when you stumble a little bit as a team and, you press a little bit, how do you respond to it? He's responded the right way. And as I say, we're excited to have both he, Timo Meier, Tommy Hurdle really step to the next level and help carry this team with some of the other veteran players. But he's a good kid. We know him better than anybody. He led the OHL in scoring. He's a kid that responds when he falls and skins his knees a little bit. And this deal is about going forward. Yes, we've seen what he can do. This deal is about the ingredients he has going forward, and we're excited for him.
Curtis?
Doug, obviously you guys are going to need Kevin's production going forward, but how does he become a better two-way forward? Obviously the plus minus speaks for itself last year with Kevin. How does he become a better two-way forward and maybe fit in with what Bob wants to do with his team?
I've talked to Bob and our coaches about that. They know that he has exactly what the ingredients are we're looking for. And again, last year, we had some really good players trying to do too much. And what happens when you try and do too much, it comes from a good place. You want to help and all that, but you get away from the details. He's shown that. You watched, he'll hunt pucks. He'll go get pucks. His skill set, seeing the ice and making plays is incredible. I mean, not just the power play performance in the Vegas game, but you watch the plays that he can see and play and make, and then you tie it in with opening up our style of play with the activation of Carlson and Burns, and you're going to see us play a more attacking style that fits right into his wheelhouse. If I'm going to try and acquire players like Banker, that's the type of ingredients I'm looking for. We know him, we know what he's made of, and he's shown us what he can do. Now it's a matter of putting the work in between now and our startup, being ready when the season starts. I think every one of our players touches on that, because if you're prepared right from day one, you don't have to worry about things. But if you're not prepared and you chase your tail, and you saw what happened last year.
Shane?
Hey, Doug, can you talk a little bit about, I guess, the negotiating process or path from, last summer, Kevin signs the 1 year, $1 million contract. He and the team, did not have the best year this year to this particular contract.
Yeah, well, you go through the journey of it. His agent, Michael Curran, and Joe Will spent a lot of time talking about, where we're going as a team, where Kevin is going. Obviously, when you've got that 56-point your resume on your resume as a 23-year-old, that travels with you. you take a look, there's players that just signed recently that scored 1 goal last year and then signed a long-term contract. And what it is, it's about where you're going to. And this is forecasting Kevin Labanc to be a 60-point scorer for the next 4 years. That's really what the market is. That's what the value is. And we know that he's not only done it, but we think he is going to fit so well with how we want to play, how we want to attack in the power play. And having long talks with Boogie, he's a big believer in Banker, as we are.
Kevin? Yeah, Doug, the final number you settled on for this contract, was there, what's the best way to ask this? Was that at all a thanks for what he did last summer when he took $1 million and kept you guys within, a reasonable cap range?
Yeah, it's not a thanks. It's, you take a look at, we did the same thing with Chris Tierney. You want players to understand how the system works. Do you remember it? Yes, of course you do. And players that, you appreciate and value that are homegrown. We've done bridge deals over the years with a lot of our young players coming through the system. But then it comes down to the point of, you've accomplished this. You had that 56-point season. You had that power play and playoff experience. You showed us what you can do. Now you have to negotiate a contract going forward. And it's no different than looking for a player from another team. You're looking for these exact ingredients. You know what the marketplace is. It is what it is. Finding those players is really difficult. Finding right-hand shot guys with those skill sets, it's one of the most sought after things in this game right now. And the fact that we know the player, we know what his work ethic is, and how much he cares. So we're very comfortable projecting him to be, as I say, that 60-point guy, creating offense, attacking the net on 5-on-5, and really potentially giving us the ability to have what we think could be the best power play in hockey. We have the ingredients. We now have to approach it with a structure that both Rocky and Boogie are working on, because that's a crucial part of being successful in this league right now, is a power play.
Curtis?
Doug, fair to say this is kind of your last big ticket contract for the season? You don't really anticipate going out and anyone else from the outside, that this is going to be the last big contract you guys give out this year?
Well, I think what I shared with you is I wasn't looking to go sign, an older player from the outside to that type of deal. You take a look, signing a 24-year-old player within your own system that you know well, dedicating the money to that and those ingredients was probably a priority right now. But we're still looking at ways to improve our hockey team between now and whenever we do start up. But getting Kevin taken care of, adding the pieces that we've added in the last little while, getting Devin and solidifying our goaltending with Devin Dubnyk. Adding Ryan Donato was important, giving us some more scoring and secondary scoring. Getting Steph Nason back is important. We're still talking to a few more of our guys. So we've been doing a lot of things to get this team going, to be ready going forward, but also making sure that all our guys are out getting the work in. As Banker said, Tomash is back, Logan's back. I've talked to a group of other guys that are all working. Unique, unknown year, but all you can do is make sure the work is being done to be ready when we do ramp up again.
Are you comfortable with your depth on the right side now with Steph and now Kevin and potentially Donato? Are you kind of comfortable with where that's at right now?
What you want is you want competition, and that's really important. And I think that's why getting Ryan in there. We've also got some guys that they think that they can come and compete for some spots. Steph gives you that veteran experience that he can go up and down in roles. And yes, Ryan scored 14 even strength goals last year and is chomping at the bit for more of an opportunity. Banker, is capable of being a real high-end guy. But you've also got the Dylan Gambrells and Noah Gregors and John Leonards and people like that. They want to come in and push. So you got to have opportunity. You've got to have guys that can play and can do it. But that competition of younger guys coming, I think, is really healthy too.